Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Looks like we got our own Royal Rumble here tonight. We got a full house today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
Joining me
we do.
this week on Cutting a Promo, Turnbuckle Tabloid Edition here on New York Wrestle Media. Of course, our resident historian of all things wrestling, Mr. Mike himself from History and Headlocks. Checking in, guys. And a returning favorite to the show. We haven't seen him in a while. Our guy, Mr. Falbo himself. Big Ben is in the building.
Good to be back, baby.
What a perfect time to come back. Royal Rumble. We just had a lovely experience at the Seneca this past weekend. Thank you guys who turned up for the event at the Seneca. It was much appreciated by not only myself, Mike, and the rest of the crew at Ring Fanatics and at the Arrival. We also got some love from the Seneca as well. And it says guys, the doors are always open for you guys. So if you guys want to throw another event, feel free to just pull up and do what you do. So thank you guys at the Seneca. Just a big day that went across the board yesterday. First of all, 2:00 start time really had an effect on certain individuals. I was just at the point where I was like, yeah, what am I doing? Why did I do this? This is just too early for me to party. Like, it's just, and a guy like me, I'm always partying. Ben, did you remember it was starting at 2:00 then?
Well, actually, yes. Which was funny was I did not watch it live. I watched it later on the night because yesterday I was shooting a short film with some friends of mine, so I watched it later on in the night. But I didn't remember.
I didn't know there was going to be bragging here. I didn't know there was going to be a lot of bragging here.
Let him do it.
We're talking about the Royal Rumble, not bragging rights.
Thank God.
No, what's the short film about? If you go into it.
Actually, it's somewhat relevant to this. It involves two of my favorite things in the world: found footage, Blair Witch style horror, and professional wrestling. The short film happens to star Lucas Twitch DeSangro of the Monster Factory fame, and everyone's favorite Switch boy, Leroy Green. So
nice.
If you check my Facebook, you can see some behind the scenes photos and other stuff. There's a Facebook page for it. So if you want to follow along with the production of the film, you can check out the Satanic Panic 2002, The Lost Wrestling Show Facebook page and stick to updates there. But now, once there's more to share, I'll definitely hop back on and share it. But that's where I was at yesterday. But I didn't get to the Rumble until later at night when we were all done. And but honestly, I'm a big fan of the afternoon shows when they happen because it means I can still have my evening and do other things, honestly.
So for me, if I'm a viewer, I'm fine with it. But when you're throwing an event, you're pretty much already out of the loop because you're not really paying attention. You're kind of making sure everybody's okay, making sure the whatever raffles or games that we're playing is all up and running. So you're not really focusing. You're trying to check in. It's trying to say hi to everyone, make sure everybody's comfortable. Shout out to one half of Private Party. Came up and pulled out to the show. Shout out to our boy Mark Quinn, who came in and showed us some love at the Senate for the Royal Rumble event. He didn't have to do that, but it was much love and greatly appreciated. Had a great conversation with him during the time as well. So be on the lookout. The boy's on the comeback. So keep an eye out for him as well. And like I said, for everyone who came through and pulled up at the Seneca, great job, man. It was awesome. Also want to show love to this past Friday, pulled up to Outlaw Wrestling in Brooklyn. It was a great show as well. Main event had Eddie Kingston and Ortiz versus the Audacity. Yeah, man. For Outlaw Wrestling, if you guys have not followed, that's Bull James's promotion. I was there early on too, man. I was there to watch that company grow, and right now to see them where they at now, the amount of people that were in that building that day was amazing. So proud to see those guys. Him, much love to Bull as well as to our boy Homicide. who was in the building as well, and it was a great weekend for wrestling. But nonetheless, enough bragging and boasting. Let's get into what we're here to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I have the results here for everybody. We could go through it one by one.
The Rimble Bimble.
And I have some images to show as well. All right. So opening up the night was the women's 30-woman battle royal match up. I pretty much believe that this was going to open up the card, seeing as though that they're going to be fully dressed and covered up everything. There was only skin that was shown was face and hands. And secondly, I was worried about the weather conditions, but during start time of the event, apparently it was at 66 degrees, which was not that bad for the beginning of the match.
I was worried.
Ben, when you finally got to watch the Rumble, what was the first thing that stuck out to you? Because I want to see if everybody else.
Where the fuck were the people? Where are the people? Okay, all I've been hearing about for the last month and a half, 2 months, if I'm getting my timeline right here, is that they've been building this arena. They've been building it from the ground up for like the last 2 months. And I'm like, was this really worth all the slave labor?
They said 20 days, but I'll give you the 2 months, to be fair.
Fucking Triple H is looking at, there was a clip of Triple H looking at the new arena. He's like, not bad for a month's work. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. They had like the Intuit chairs where like it lights up on the chairs. And I think the whole section where the WrestleMania sign was all that. There was no people sitting in those chairs.
There were ghosts. There was nobody.
I'm pretty much I know in many events where they know that the hard cam is not it's going to be lack of fans, they will go, okay, everybody, let's shift. We're all going to come this way now. Everybody move.
They did that to me once at like a Raw or like a fucking SmackDown once. Me and my buddy, we had seats and they're like, hey, we're going to upgrade you guys. And they moved us to like hard cam side to make it look more full.
Right.
Which I thought was nuts.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the thing. Like that was going to happen. Like, yeah, but
mind you, I want to point out too that before this show was even live, they had 2 pre-show matches for the people there in Saudi Arabia.
Didn't know that they were doing that either. Did not know.
Yeah, they had the Wyatt Six against the MFTs, and Motor City Machine Guns and Shinsuke Nakamura against the New Day and Grayson Waller.
Right.
Were the people sitting for that, and then they just walked out before the Women's Rumble?
So my thought was, I was sitting there going, I was like, maybe they didn't want to see women's wrestling, but didn't we have them? Didn't they have a packed house before? Like last year? I mean, they've
been generous when they put women's matches on the Saudi shows and they sit there and watch, but
right.
I guess 30 is too much for them.
Right. So I
don't have an answer.
They can tolerate the concept of women wrestling, but no more than 2 at a time, I guess.
Or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, my lord.
We're doing a little bit too much here. You guys are doing way too much.
I will say the crowd was, I guess also too, like the fact that there was not a lot of people there, but very low sounding too. I don't know how audio wise, like
this audience was half asleep for a lot of it.
And this is the start of the show.
Yeah, I was thrown off by that greatly because I'm like, wasn't this what they were screaming about? Is that everybody's gonna be all invested in and they want this to be at the event, and now don't you think? And I'll go to Ben first. Does this kind of like get them a little bit leery about how WrestleMania is gonna go next year?
I am worried because, like, when I heard that they were doing that, I was like, I'd always assumed we were going to get a Saudi Mania at some point. Like, that was always on the docket. Number one, well, it's like I see we have a comment here on Facebook. This comes from real Ben Cliff, another fellow Ben. Will be embarrassing if WrestleMania isn't sold out for 2 nights when it's over there. And that I honestly agree because I'm like, this was not a full house. Like, and say what you will about the Saudi shows in the past, you can disagree with them ethically or whatever, but you can't deny that for the most part, those shows have been packed. They have been packed like houses for those fucking shows. I was looking around being like, was everyone stuck in traffic or something? So I'm like, I would be wary if they were doing this for WrestleMania. And if they're going to hold it in Saudi, they're going to have to, that might be the year that they have to bust out like Rock and Roman or like Brock and Gunther or like something. Yeah, they really got to start like, that Mania is going to be full of like a lot of like marquee level like Hollywood stuff if you're going to fill that fucking arena, especially if it's the same arena they're using for this show
that they built in 20 days. And I'm going to say this half jokingly. Did people not know where this arena was? Was this in the middle of nowhere in Saudi Arabia?
That's a good question. Yeah.
That might not be inaccurate. It might be so new some people didn't even know it was a thing.
What the hell is this building called? Oh, we don't know? Oh damn it.
Right. Guys, also check in the comment section. There's something new that we're adding to the fold in the comments. I want you guys to check it out. It's supertip.gg at New York Wrestle Media. This will help us greatly. You guys could for a small fee, you guys could put your comments in and it'll will pop up on the screen by itself, and they're audible as well. Their voice to chat as well. So check us out at supertip.gg at New York Wrestle / New York Wrestle Media. Get your comments in, ladies and gentlemen.
Before we dive into this women's rumble, I just want to shout out Ben's comment because he's very active, but I just saw the one that I am in agreement with. WrestleMania needs to be in England one of these days.
Yeah,
and at least you know the crowd will definitely deliver.
Because I think if the past two All Ins have been in England, and those have been, say what you can argue about the quality of those shows, but like the crowds have been great for those.
Absolutely.
So no, like they got to step it up.
Yeah, I don't know. There was reports saying there's a reason why they won't run in Wembley, but I'm like, okay, there's other fucking venues in England. Like, you don't have to be in Wembley. You can do everywhere else.
Yeah. It's not like Tony Khan owns the building. I mean, like, right, WWE owns MSG apparently.
Right.
Yeah. But
so,
we started the Women's Rumble with Charlotte Flair and then Alexa Bliss. So storyline stuff already starts the Women's Rumble. And I want to point this out for the rest of the show when we do this review, but the intervals were very random or very fast at certain times. So these two just stood there waiting for number 3, the poor sucker, Kiana James, who actually looked better than I think she's been on the main roster.
She was one of the people in this one who was I was actually kind of like, where the fuck have you been hiding this talent for the last few months? I'm like, why have you been doing this the whole time?
It was insane. And then Nia Jax comes out for number 4. Number 5, Ivy Nile. She only got a big pop because of her theme song, so she got the Kurt Angle treatment. Number 6 was Lola Vice, who got a decent reaction. And the only thing the commentator was missing was the Booker T, too, because when Lola did her hip attack, Booker T would bust a nut just for that move alone. 7, Candice LeRae. 8, Jordan Grace. 9, Becky Lynch. And at this point, Charlotte eliminates both Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss by accident. We'll see what happens on SmackDown with that.
I gotta say, it was nice to see Becky and Charlotte after it's been a while since they've been in the building with each other. I think it was nice to see them have like a little stare down with each other. I honestly can't remember the last time that they were actually on screen with each other. It's been a minute.
It's been a couple of years, I think,
ever since that nonsense where they tried to they had to switch the titles. You remember that?
Yeah, don't remind me. Then we had number 10, Sol Ruka, who was one of the Iron Women in this Royal Rumble, surprisingly. But that just shows that they want this woman to go to the top.
No, she was awesome. You can clearly tell that like she's going to be one of the big projects going forward. She got the rub from Bayley on Saturday Night's Main Event. She made it to spoilers, but she made it to the final 3 here. So clearly, and they really are putting over. They even say on commentary, like the Soul Snatcher, the most impressive move in WWE today. They really want to make this girl a thing, and I think it's a smart move.
You know how many people were just sending me, and I'm talking about like casuals or people who don't know wrestling. Yesterday, that were sending me the Soul Catcher. Like it was everywhere being sent to me, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I've seen it. It's pretty awesome move. I'm like, I get it. You forget who. You do know I'm a guy that does a wrestling podcast, right? You do know.
I'm aware of this.
I know.
Number 11 was Shigo from Kim Possible, Roxanne Perez.
I saw what you did there.
She was dressed up as. Did you catch what she was dressed as? She was dressed as Shigo from Kim Possible, which I thought was great. It was a great look.
That's the joke, Benny.
Yeah, I was I was trying to peep all that too though during the show. I was trying to see who's dressed like what. Like I like when they do that, when they have those nuances.
Soul, I'll say for Soul, she wasn't wearing like a full bodysuit. She was kind of like wearing a t-shirt kind of deal too. So she kind of stood out from all the other blondes in the match, honestly. But speaking of blondes, Maxine Dupree, number 12, who count the days, girl, till Kendall Gray gets on the main roster and you're not pulling the straps down anymore. I'm just saying, your days are numbered. Number 13, Natty, who has a new theme song now to match her new gimmick.
I thought she looked good, man. Honestly, I like this newer look for her. I really, I'm very much
She was
happy.
Terminator like.
Yeah, and I like the fact that she's more serious. She's not, she's not this happy-go-lucky, hey, look, I'm gonna help you guys get over kind of thing. She's like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna go in there and start kicking ass now. This is my last go around. And she looked really good.
I did love, she throws out, her and Becky throw out Maxine, and Becky's like, yeah, we're going to be friends. And then Natty was like, nope, just fucking yeeted her over the top rope, which I thought was a great touch.
It was before Becky tried to throw her out, and then Natty like halted and then like looked at Becky. And Becky's like, whoop. Okay, hold on. Let me talk. Let's talk. But then she gets eliminated. And I called this to Jay. I was like, is this a botch? Because she immediately lifted her legs up. She's like, hold on, my feet didn't touch the. I was like, that's weird because I think everybody expected AJ Lee to pop up, but nope.
Kiara Jane looked like the finishing flag of the F1 race.
Number 14, Liv Morgan. And then we have pretty much Judgment Day rule in the ring at this point. Then 15, Lash Legend, who was very, very impressive.
Dominated up and down the card. I mean, I'm becoming to be honest with you, a lot of people gave me shit about me putting her in such high regards a year ago, possibly a year and a half ago, about me believing that she's going to be pushed on that card hard. And I think I'm proving the naysayers wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I think
a year too early.
Yeah, I was ahead of my time. I think that she is going to be the one that they say, you know what, this Jade Cargill thing might not be working. Yeah, I think we might need to.
In literally less than 20 minutes, she showed more like charisma, and I think in ring, I'm going to say prowess than I think Jade has shown in the last like 6 months. And I don't want to blame Jade entirely for that. I just think the way that they've been formatting her and the way they've been presenting her the last 6 months has not been great. She's barely been on TV. When she is, it's kind of the same thing each time. And the less that she's wrestled, the worse that she's gotten. Say what you will about her in AEW, but at least they had her wrestling consistently enough that she was getting a little bit better by the end of it. Now they have her on TV so little, she's regressing.
But you know what it is as well, that I believe it's you're babying her to think that if you protect her, you're gonna think that it's gonna benefit her down the line, like you're gonna get her over that way, or you're gonna get her more heat that way, and you're not. If you're doing this because you're believing that we're still working on her, Jesus, she's been in the ring for 5 years or more. Like,
take the cake out of the oven. We're done.
Exactly. Great fucking analogy to say. Take the cake out of the oven.
No, but to get it back on focus, like Lash Legend, in the brief time she had in this Rumble, she dumped out like 6, 7 girls. She was on a fucking tear.
Yeah, we'll get.
She eliminated more people in this match than Obafemi got to eliminate later in the men's Rumble.
It should have been the opposite.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that nonsense later. I have some words about how they handled that. But
16, Zelina, 17, Raquel Rodriguez. Then we had all 3 Judgment Day women dominating the ring. Then we had number 18, Chelsea Green, who got a massive pop.
She's great.
I think it's just popularity pops throughout the entire night. Yeah, salute for Chelsea, a real American.
Hell yeah,
not being American. Number 19, Julia. So pretty much it was telltale what the next spots were going to be. So 19, Julia, 20, Io, 21, Asuka, and then we had the 3-way face-off with all the Japanese women, and there was some oohs and some ahs, and then just a lot of normal stuff at that point. Rhea Ripley, number 22.
Big pop.
Bailey at 23, and Jay noticed very, very fast with the bodysuit on Miss Bailey.
Yes. First of all, who can't miss that onion when it's getting into the ring? I love it. I love how Ben put it in. Ben put it early on, and he was basically saying, "Yeah, was the Power Rangers Royal Rumble?" This is basically what it was that we saw.
Pretty much. Number 24 from NXT, JC Jane, the champion. She got a decent reaction. Number 25, Nikki Bella. Number 26, Lyra Valkyria. She got a good reaction. 27, Kalani Jordan. And the damn camera guy missed the fucking Spanish fly or the Phoenix Splash.
The Phoenix Splash, yeah.
Because she jumped off and then she hit it, but the camera missed it because somebody was in the way.
Did you guys notice, by the way, that's a production mistake as well, but did you guys notice this, that those little graphics they were doing on the bottom of the screen, they were fucking the numbers up a lot. When they'd get to like number 11, they'd show entrant number 1 again.
Yeah,
they're having some problems with that throughout the night. But there was some fan footage that somebody said, like, oh, like what? Does entrant number 31?
Yeah, you would think the template would be already in place. All you have to do is I could do it on StreamYard, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that hard. You can do it that way.
You build out the graphics, you put them in a folder on the side, you drop them into the feed. It's not that hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they did this last year too, but I think it's a very interesting idea just to have a little name bar, like give a brief description, but it's also one of those things where they're showing the times. I mean, I think Jake could attest to this. I screamed like 20 times when they kept showing like how long Charlotte's been in the match for. It's like every 10 seconds or every 10 minutes they kept showing it. I'm like, I get it. She's in the corner. She's napping. Leave it alone.
I think the I think the only thing that they got correct was her time. Everything else was glitchy.
I will refrain from screaming, but number 20 was Kyrie. And then we had the big spot where she pretty much, leading up to this, promised to help Asuka win the Rumble, and Asuka immediately was hanging on for dear life, and Kyrie was going to hit Io. Io ducks, and Kyrie hits the pirate elbow and knocks Asuka off the apron. She looks back as she sees her. Kyrie has that face of, oh shit, I'm going to die.
No, this was honestly my favorite bit in the match, honestly, because they've been building this up on TV pretty well. Like, Kyrie's kind of on the edge of not wanting to deal with Asuka's shit anymore. And then Asuka was looking at her like, oh, we need to go backstage now. We're going to have some words with each other.
Well, before that, her elimination, where she pretty much got dumped over and then just slid to the floor and then just belly flopped.
Belly flopped over. She resigned to her fate. She was going to get a scolding from her mother.
Listen, I'm pretty much okay with the fact that all individuals of the same ethnicity or background do not need to be together. Like we could start breaking them up a little bit. It's fine. They'll be okay.
This is what's gonna happen now. The Kabuki Warriors, the only team they legitimately have, they're gonna break up.
They're gonna break them up.
Triple doesn't know how to book other ethnicities any other way than that.
Listen, let's be fair. Asuka's almost in her mid-40s, and she's basically a millionaire, close to a billionaire. So I think that she'll be
everything.
Right. Yeah, she'll be all right from here on out.
Oh, that woman's secure. She's fine.
And speaking of established tag teams for women's tag titles of Mania, here comes Brie Bella and number 29.
Did you? This is such a moment, wasn't it, for everyone? It was so great.
Everybody in Saudi Arabia was happy.
I can't be forced to care.
I should have known. I should have known this was going to happen because the Bella Twins were doing their show. I figured if one's there, the other's there too.
Did you guys notice how they were tap dancing around the fact that they were tap dancing around mentioning Daniel Bryan by name on commentary?
Right.
She was doing all of his. She was doing the yes chant. She was doing the yes kicks and all that shit. And I was like, look, I'm going to be nice. Like, Brie and Nikki Bella, I'm sure that they are nice people. I'm sure they are lovely girls. And listen, they have been through, and I mean this, they have been through a lot of abuse. I mean it. Like, they have been treated like shit by some people. But I'm sorry, it is 2020 goddamn 6. This is multiple rotations around the sun at this point. I cannot be expected to care or show up for the Bellas in 2026.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, honestly, because, yeah, you want to get that feel-good moment. Yeah, you want to be like, oh, look who's back, and then blah, blah, blah. It wasn't. This wasn't the moment. It really, to me, it wasn't. We could have done this on Raw. Honestly,
yeah.
I didn't need this right now in the middle of the Rumble. I was okay with it.
Also, it's like I'm looking at this picture. It's like this is like the first time they're hugging in years. It's like, bitches, You did a show yesterday, and you see each other every day.
Also, the confusing thing about it is, up until a few weeks ago, I was pretty sure Nikki Bella was being presented. First of all, I forget she's there half the time. That she's just a consistent part of week-to-week TV sometimes, and I just forgot. Weren't you heel like 3 weeks ago or some
Yes.
shit? And now we're expected to like cheer for the happy feel-good moment of her reuniting with her sister, and I'm like, you can't have both.
Well, it was cool to see
Hold on,
Brie
when you
Bella.
see the picture, Benny, that's the face turn.
Was cool to see Brie Bella, but wasn't that
works.
marked. I like I said, the hug I get because it's like, oh my god, you're back in wrestling again. We're together. Oh god, yeah, I get that, but yeah, that could have been at Raw. We could have seen that in another setting. But
You could have done an angle where the Judgment Day's beating Nikki on Raw, and then have Brie come out for the big save, Brie mode. I
hey, but
my
look,
lord.
Mike, we get another tag team for the women's division. While one breaks up, the other one is coming in. There you go.
Yay! Can they take? Meanwhile, it's like like to add on to Ben's thing. They're already in the Hall of Fame. There's nothing else for them to do. What? Just to win the women's tag belts? Can you take them with you? Because there's no women's tag division in this company.
They're gonna be grand slam champions or whatever you want to do with them.
And I just want to point out too that there was like other teams in there. So Bailey and Lyra were in there. And by the way, Roxanne was eliminated early, so I don't know why. I understand. I don't get that reason, but like Liv and Raquel, like they were doing face-offs. Brie and Nikki were trying their so damn hardest to get in the middle of stare downs, like where Nikki's like standing behind Raquel, and then it's like, okay, now let's brawl.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
Shout out to a friend of my aunt's who was there. My aunt who was in the building as well. She pulled up to the Seneca, but a friend of hers was there, and she was probably one of the most excited women. I didn't know she was that much of a fan of wrestling, but she was all in it. She actually called. She called what was about to happen, but with the wrong individuals. She had mentioned that it would be better to have Roxanne down the line going into with Liv,
Right.
but later on we saw what happened, which was Liv eliminating Raquel, which was I actually think it might be better.
Right.
I think
But
that's
then I
what
have something to say about that later on after we talk about this match. But number 30, big surprise. Well, not big, big surprise because we haven't seen her in a couple months. But Tiffany Stratton made a return here, big pop.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get down to the wire where Lash Legend eliminates both Bellas, eliminates Charlotte, kicks Io's head into the ground, and then Rhea Ripley with the big elimination on Lash, and then Raquel with her own big elimination, Tahana bombing her back on the apron, and then from out of nowhere, Liv dumps Raquel over the top.
That was the other big moment. I was like, oh, yeah.
And Raquel had the best reaction, like she landed and went like, what the hell did you just do?
I thought we were in this together, bitch. Goddamn.
And then
room for themselves.
Yeah.
She sold it perfectly. And then it was down to Soul, Stratton, and Liv. 3 blondes.
Gonna make a comment about this. This was probably the best final of a women's Royal Rumble that I've seen in a long time.
It's up there. It was very unpredictable. Yeah. I had a feeling in my heart of hearts that it was going to be Liv's year because she's been like the runner-up like 3 years in a row. I was like, you remember my take the cake out of the oven metaphor before. I was like, you gotta pull the trigger on her winning at some point, otherwise it starts to get redundant. I will say this, it was a great finish and it worked really well, especially the Oblivion onto the apron and the Soul Snatcher fail onto the outside. That was great. They've done this finish for the Women's Rumble about 4 or 5 times now, or it's the final 2 or 3 dangling off the ropes. They did it with Rhea and Bianca in the Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with Asuka and the Bellas, if I remember, in the first one.
That's always on that apron.
They did it with Rhea and Liv again. Yeah. And I think they did it with Bailey, Liv, and again the other year. So I was
Jade,
And Jade, yeah, I think honestly last year was the only time they didn't. The one that Charlotte won last year, I think, was one of the only times they didn't do it because she just threw the other person out. So I was like, I was totally fine with it. I was happy with the final result, but I was like, you got to start mixing this finish up a little bit. You can't do this.
They made it a point for Liv, saying that she's like 2-time runner-up of the Rumble, 2-time runner-up in the Elimination Chamber. They're like saying like it's like always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And she finally wins here. But then I just want to say this one thing about because they made an emphasis on the Raquel thing. WWE then later on showed a video of Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne FaceTime and Dom afterwards, and there was no hard feelings at all between the three women. I guess I have to wait for Raw for them to say something. But Liv said something on the pro show where she's like, Raquel's already number one contender, so like she doesn't like she'll get her championship match regardless. I'm just getting mine at WrestleMania.
But you know
Actually
what?
makes sense.
It makes sense, and at the same time,
But will Raquel buy it?
I wanna. Okay. Let me just let it play out. Let me just watch how it plays out, as opposed to like seeing.
Interesting thing
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
if Raquel wins the title from Stephanie and it ends up being Raquel versus Liv at Mania. If you want to do, which to be fair, it kind of feels like, and also the shit that they've been teasing with Finn, I feel like this Mania is going to be hinged on the Judgment Day blow up angle, which they've been teasing for, I think, a little too long now. Granted, Liv was hurt, so they had to like put a pause on it and just kind of hold it for a little while. But I feel like this Mania is going to be, I feel like we're going to get Finn versus Dom, especially if Dom is back and healthy soon. I feel like we're going to get Liv versus Raquel and some other such combination of things as well. So I feel like that's probably what we're leading towards.
And we have to wait for Roxanne and JD's feelings on this. But Liv is your 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner. Well deserved. Going into this, it was pretty. I think it was very clear that it was her that should win. Others possibly you can make a case for, but Liv was definitely the fan favorite.
Yeah, she was the forerunner here, definitely. And once again, it wasn't one of those situations to where it's like, oh man, they gave it to Liv or why? No, it's time. And you know what? We need to start getting back that Liv movement again, because she, regardless of what people's thoughts about what they've been doing with Judgment Day, she's always been the one in front and center that everybody has love for. So yeah, it's time for her to get that push.
And she's also the one starting drama.
Yeah,
like on Monday, she's like, well, like with the stuff with Phil on Raw, she's like, what are you gonna do about it? You gonna keep playing video games in this stupid clubhouse?
Yeah, no, and like I said, she's been the one that everybody respects in and out, and especially during her time of injury, the people were waiting for her to come back, and now that she's back, she's earned it every fucking minute she's been on TV. Good for her.
Next up, we had probably the best match on the show: AJ Styles versus Gunther.
Oh,
where do we start?
The feeling in the room when we were watching, when people were watching this, was they're not gonna have AJ lose, right? AJ can't lose this. This can't happen. Then on the flip side, it was like, well, can't wait to see him in AEW. I'm like, what
assholes?
Are we gonna presume that automatically? By the way, there was already the template already went out. AJ Styles is all elite. It's already going around.
Yeah.
So.
He made sure to trademark all of his shit.
Which is kind of insane that you think you already own that, but whatever.
Yeah, you would think, right?
But early on, AJ got a cut on his arm. I think it was from the backdrop on the announcer's table.
I think that's where it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, because he got a cut on his arm, and then all of a sudden, all the blood was on Gunther's chest. So I was like, "What the hell happened?" But then Gunther does Gunther things, which, Ben, I don't know. Like, you're a fan of Gunther, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the thing Gunther is really good, and this match is a great example of it. I saw this on Twitter today, and I noticed this. He's really good at remembering the little things between matches. The great example here being he was making sure to protect his leg because that's what AJ was going after on their match on Raw a few weeks ago. And he's like, okay, like I got to remember that's probably my weakness here against this fucker. So I got to protect myself. And like the back and forth on this was really great. And it kind of kept you guessing the whole. Gunther is really good at being a monster, but he's actually really good at like kind of selling when he's on the back foot and somebody's like, he gets his shit rocked and like, he's like, okay, I wasn't expecting an actual fight here. I actually got to fucking put up my guns and actually give a fuck. No, he's really good at that stuff. And like, I still think he was the right guy to send Cena on his way. And I actually think he was probably the right guy to send AJ on his way as well. And Goldberg, the more that I'm thinking about it, he really is becoming the career killer, which is kind of perfect.
Yeah, I agree with, especially when for years I've been saying about Volta Gunther. He's been very highly regarded when it comes to his ring knowledge, his intellect.
Yep.
Takes it very serious. If you guys know, he does have a school back in his home country about he has his wrestling school out there, and he prides himself on ensuring the fact that if you're going to get into business, respect it. Go in there knowing what it is, clear cut what you're going to be doing in here. I know there's some hot and colds because some people don't they don't really appreciate his ring work. But to me, as his gimmick, that's what he's supposed to be. Like this is a guy who's supposed to be owning and knowing what wrestling is. Don't need him to be this monstrous kind of super gimmick, super heat guy. All he needs to do is go in a ring and, just like you said, be a career killer, beat the guy who beats your favorites. That's what he needs to be.
It's always funny when watching his matches where, like, 1 minute he's throwing these devastating chops and like these devastating boots, and then when he gets the ref in the corner and the ref's not looking, he still gives AJ the low blow. Like, he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he'll do anything to win.
He's like, pieces of shit. He's not gonna fight fair. He's gonna fucking kick you in the nuts. He'll do whatever it takes to win because he prides himself on being this professional wrestler, man. But he's like, no, at the end of the day, he's still he can still be a bitch. That's what
I love the fact that I can hear M2 Week from TikTok. Shout out to our boy M2 just screaming, "Dear God, why is it that Gucci always has to climb to the top rope? Why does he have to do that? Oh, why the hell does Ric Flair always have to do Ric Flair things and Ric Flair had been for many years climbed to the top rope and had not completed the task until one time in his whole career. It's just part of what wrestling is. But like you said, those little nuances, being able to still be the ring general and doing a low blow on somebody makes him why he is the top fucking heel or probably top wrestler in the business right now.
Yeah, then the spot in the match, Gunther had AJ in the corner and pretty much just chopping and beating the shit out of him. And then there was the point, I think we was getting to that point where the ref was like maybe about to call it off, and AJ just got back up. He's like, no, I'm still good. Then he hits the calf, blocks in the calf crusher, rolls in the middle of the ring, and then Gunther just locks on that choke, and that choke lasted pretty much for a lifetime. And then AJ arm drops. Now, I don't know how you guys feel. I'm usually traditional and say they should have done the 3, but he just did the 1, and the ref was like, okay, he's done.
It's very UFC influenced because when you're calling shit like an actual fight and your job as the referee is to make sure someone doesn't die, you're not going to drop their arm 3 times. I love that for drama because I love that kind of comic book shit. I love that stuff, but you're not going to do that in a real fight. It's like, hey buddy, you dead? You dead? You dead? No, you're not going to do that shit. You're going to be like, oh fuck, he's out. Okay, that's enough. Kill it. We're done.
Yeah, right. It's always
been fired from the UFC because they don't stop a fight soon enough. So it makes sense.
Whenever I thought about the whole raising the arm 3 times to ensure that it's very Hulk Hogan-esque. That's all you were waiting for.
Right.
Oh my God, he's back.
He has a burst of energy.
Yeah, so I can respect the one arm. Yeah, he's done. At least he passed out.
Yes.
I'm looking at you, Cena. I'm looking at you.
Oh, bitch.
And you know what? AJ didn't smile either.
Smells like bitch.
But the one thing I will say too, I think AJ got up a little too quick because then once Gunther released him, he was kind of scurrying to the ropes, and then he had the realization like wait a minute, what just happened? And it was like,
oh, I did it.
And Gunther, I just love Gunther. He just like, yes, I did it. Yes. And then he goes to the back, and then we have the aftermatch stuff where AJ about to take the gloves off, leave him in the ring, says fuck that, put the gloves back on, leaves the ring, then runs back in the ring. Just like a whole thing of and the fans were chanting thank you, AJ. AJ poses on the ring ropes, and this is the last of AJ Styles in WWE.
Yes, they made it clear to say to everyone, WWE for AJ is done wrestling with WWE. So,
see you on Wednesday, brother.
Or Thursday, whichever day you want, sir.
I'm going to be the first to speculate and say he'll be going to TNA. It still keeps him close to home, still keeps him close to WWE, and I think that you're gonna do the where I started at. I'm gonna finish that kind of idea, that premise and such. At the same time, I still think a real retirement match is on the way, and I really believe that it's going to involve a guy who is still on the peripheral if he's coming back to WWE, Mr. Y2J himself, Jericho.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Like I'm not trying to like glaze AEW here. Like that's not what I'm trying to do at all. But like the fanboy in me would really love to see him versus Kenny before he calls it. Like him versus Andrade before he goes would be probably really good.
Osprey.
Him and Osprey is the one I really want, honestly. Even Osprey tweeted out last night, like after he hung it up, he just tweeted out phenomenal, and I was like, please, because I know Osprey's on the mend soon. I know he's going to be back at some point this year, so I'm like, I'm hoping. Listen, I don't even think he needs to sign full time with AEW for a year or anything. Just sign like a 6-month contract and just have a few matches and just call it quits. I'd be fine with that.
David retire Logan Paul. That's that. Somebody had a funny edit of Gunther with Thanos Gauntlet Glove. That'd be the final gem, the Logan Paul gem.
No, what was it that they said they had to retire? Nikki Bella. That's the one.
Nikki Bella's on the list. And also Triple H said AJ can work as a producer backstage. So Triple H can shut up.
I'm gonna say I'm in the same wheelhouse with you guys when it comes to having great matches that should have happened, and maybe if it'll be interesting to see if WWE will do that. I don't think they will. I don't think that, although they say his contract is up in February, it's at the end of February, so I'm not sure. They're definitely going to lock him in for something. They don't want him to go too far away. But yeah.
Well, unless he agrees to something, unless he agrees to extension or maybe a Legends deal or something.
But yeah, something of that. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you do want to see those matches. Will they save it for it? You don't want to save it for indies, like indie shows. It is intimate to see matches like that in indies, but those are some big money matches that you'd be leaving on the table. It's big money matches.
Yeah.
Well, it's also too. Let's think about the last person that just got his his contract ran out, Tommaso Ciampa, and now he's TNT champion. So good. I mean, there's good things to happen when your contract runs out.
Oh, please. You know what kills me with that is that everybody's like, Triple H dropped the ball. Every company does this. As soon as they leave WWE, they give him a belt. It's not automatic. Is Ciampa a great wrestler? Yes, he is. Is he gonna put on a great match? Sure, especially with a guy like Mark Briscoe. Fantastic. Get it. But of course they're gonna give him a belt. Because it's all it is a big fuck you to WWE and go, hey, look who we gave a championship and you passed on him. They do it everywhere. It's not just because of fucking Ciampa.
It's not even just AEW that does that. Lots of fucking House of Glory has done that. Not right towards them, they do it. I'm sorry.
It's also a counter argument. Don't get mad at the fan. Well, let me just say, like, if you don't want to put a title on him, then don't book the fucking thing. Then
Indy Hartwell left a fucking company and got a title as soon as she walked out. Like, come on,
wins a title when they get fired.
Of course. Jeez.
Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, WWE Championship.
Yes.
Which, by the way, they need to stop calling it the Undisputed. There's nothing disputed about it. Sammy got a good reaction coming out. Drew, I thought, got a good reaction, but the crowd was dead.
I was surprised. They were pretty big when Sammy was coming out. They were big for a few spots, but this is where I really started to feel the energy die. And I'm not blaming Drew or Sammy for that. I just feel like something was off formatting wise with how they chose to do this. Because this was a good match. Not as good as AJ and Gunther, but this was still a solid match. Like, these are two great workers. Like, Sammy's a great babyface. Drew is having a great time being a cunty heel. I love him in that mode. But it was like, I don't know. It just kind of felt like this just kind of felt like it was just an excuse to just have a fourth match on the show.
Well, they told us the story. Sammy did his big dive over the top, hurt his back or threw his back out, whatever you want to use for that. But then Drew capitalized it, pretty much worked on it the whole match. Then towards the end, Drew hit a big power bomb to Sammy through the announcer's table, and not a DQ, but okay, they're gonna stop it. But Drew rolled him back in. And then they did the spot where it's pretty much telling him, "You're a loser to your son. Like, just quit. Like, you're not gonna win." Goes for the Claymore. Then Sammy catches him with the exploder. Go for the Luva kick.
It was a great spot.
Claymore at the corner. Then another Claymore. 1, 2, 3. Drew retains. But I will say early on, before all that, Drew hit 3 Future Shock DDTs, and Sammy kicked out of 2.
No, the story of this was Drew McIntyre realizing, okay, you are not as easy to kill as I thought you'd be. Like, that's kind of the story here, which has kind of been the story of Sammy's whole career. It's like his opponent's kind of shocked, like, okay, what do I actually have to do to put you down for good? Because you're resilient as fuck. That's kind of the story.
Sammy ain't winning it all till next year if he even wins it at all. Pretty much. But at the same time, I'm looking at it as was it a filler match? No, I don't think so. I don't really think it was a filler match. It got exactly what they wanted out of the fans. The fans were invested in it. I think what it was is like, Jesus, we're gonna see 2 heartbreaks in a row. We just got AJ retiring in front of us, leaving
WWE. Honestly, I feel like that's what kind of contributed to like the fans' energy dying down. It's like, God, you're gonna piss on all of our hopes and dreams back to back. And the men's rumble did not help that.
Exactly. So, we were looking at the basic, you know what? You deserve it. You didn't fill up the arena, people. You died. See, that's why you got what you got.
You go home sad.
Go home sad now.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, because going to this match, they told the story pretty much. Sammy was like, "I'm 0-11 against this dude, but I'm undefeated in Saudi Arabia." So it was like something had to give here in this match. And I want to get your guys' quick thoughts, but going into the show, this show was not billed as anything. This was probably like the worst Rumble build in history that a lot of people were saying.
It's up there. It's like each year it's just been getting worse and worse, honestly, as far as you'll get like a few weeks into January and then it's almost like they remember, oh yeah, the Rumble. And then they just start letting people declare and other. What was pissing me off this year was I understand that there's a plot reason for it, but they make a point of doing this. Like Finn goes up to Adam Pearce and he's like, I want in the Rumble.
I was going to save it for the match itself.
Like, all right, the Rumble's full. And then literally 15 minutes later on the show, Javon Evans is like, I'm declaring for the Royal Rumble. And then King Brock calls into McAfee's podcast and he's like, I'm declaring for the Rumble. And it's like, fucking, okay. So I guess it wasn't full.
You could send video through email like Roman Reigns did and said, I'm in the Rumble. It's like, okay, but I saw that on Monday with the Finn thing, and I was thinking, okay, there's something going on in the Rumble match itself. But we'll get into it now. But it's like, I think that was the first time I heard no for somebody saying they're in the Rumble. It's like bullshit. You don't do qualifying matches. Everybody just says they're in the damn match, and sometimes you cut people out of the match regardless if they say they're in it.
I agree. When it came to the you know what it is, like you said with the build-up. With Rumble, it should be like automatically everybody's excited for it. Because if it's not the best pay-per-view for everybody or PLE now that everybody wants to see, it's next to WrestleMania, if anything, So I believe creatively in times they went into this mindset of where, everybody's gonna be stoked for Rumble anyway. They're just gonna, they just want to see the big matches themselves.
They'll pay the money regardless and just watch it and not give a shit.
But what really sucks about it now is that the fact that since there's only 4 matches on the card, you really want to make every match seem important doing that. I think the only one going in with the headway that it did was the AJ Styles match, because at least we know with Gunther has the career ender gimmick going on. So other than that,
the through line there.
Right. And we get Drew and Sammy because Sammy's Saudi Arabia's hero. Yeah, he hadn't gone there previously for like years. Now he's their hero. Don't want to say that. So
wait till the Rumble goes 2 nights. We'll see how that goes then.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be real interesting. I want to see how fucking burnt out I am for the second night of this shit. So
Mike, to quote you directly on this one, yeah, that'll put a dick in a butt.
Exactly.
Men's Royal Rumble match, everybody.
Great.
Number 1. Well, I will point it to. So on the pre-show and on SmackDown, they spoiled it that Braun Breaker was number 2 with a fuck up on the name bar for when Axiom was making his entrance. Like, by the way, Braun Breaker's number 2.
Which led us to the first like weird thing about this Rumble. Which take us through the first two entrances, because then the first weird oddity.
I just wanted to point this out too, because Heyman was yelling at Pierce, and I think they're teasing that Heyman wants is going to take Pierce's job as Raw GM, but Heyman said he said like FAFO, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
what? I had no idea what that meant.
I don't know what that stands for, but this whatever. So then Braun Breaker. So we know Braun Breaker is number 2. Number 1 is debuting Oba Femi
for the main roster,
and this guy looks amazing. Dragon Ball Z character come to life.
Dude, he is a chiseled fucking statue. Great fucking entrance theme. Everyone's doing the whoo whenever he comes out. It's
and doing the Oba. 6'6", 310. Holy shit!
No,
I had people in the building that didn't really know who he was. It was like, who the fuck is that? It's amazing when you see somebody of that stature. I want to see him in person. A week ago, we were doing a stern look on the Under the Ring Apron episode of New York WrestleMania, and Mike and I was watching the episode when Big Show showed up on Howard Stern, and when he walks into the studio, it takes up the whole place. So I can only imagine whenever you see Oba Femi in a play, you're like,
yeah, damn,
whatever the fuck he wants, whatever he wants, give it to him.
No, it's like I rarely have that feeling watching a guy, but like this is, I'm looking at him, I'm like, you just gotta, I'm sorry, like, do you remember back in like 2002 when Brock first showed up and like they didn't waste any time, they just put a belt on him immediately.
Right.
I'm sorry, change plans, course correct, screw somebody over. I don't fucking care. I'm sorry, his time is now. You gotta strike while the iron is hot with this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Which is why later on we'll discuss it. Is what I foreshadowed along the line, because I said this is already Money in the Bank, ticket selling match that needs to happen soon enough. I don't need to wait long until down the line or whatever it is. This build up, this match needs to happen like soon, WrestleMania style.
Shout out to Ben. I walk into the bedroom after Charlotte Oba walks to the ring.
It's a TikTok trend. I've seen that, people doing the dun, 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 dun.
So Oba's in the ring.
Wait, before you go on, I want to say is that trend that I like, and I love the Jacob Fatu a year ago, and it was like ready for war. Those are my favorite.
Oh, you mean the Celsico? No, but
Jacob doing it.
The other one too is the Pentawalk that somebody at the viewing party did perfectly in front of the screen.
Yes.
But so Oba's in the ring. Braun's making his way with Heyman, and then all of a sudden, some hooded figure comes and attacks Braun.
Are we up to number fucking 5 of these hooded figures at this point?
And you can see his hands, like they're like, dark looking, but his face was covered with a ski mask as well. He attacks Braun, super kicks him, does the weird John Moxley like walk thing, and then does a curb stomp, and then everybody cheers for that because they think, oh, it's Seth Rollins. But then everybody's just standing there awkwardly, and then he jumps over the barricade and runs for his life. Yeah, look at his hands. Like
you know what's funny? If you look at the close up of his face, people are saying, "Wait, is that actually Logan Paul under that fucking mask?"
Someone has said Adam Pearce.
People are retarded.
Yeah. No, look, you gotta. I would have gone. Finn. I definitely would have gone Finn.
Well, somebody says it might be Montez Ford.
Let's look at something. Hold on.
That's a choice.
Well, I mean, if the idea is for the Street Profits to return and they're aligned with Seth Rollins, that would not be a bad idea for them. They're currently doing nothing.
Right.
But, I mean, are my eyes deceiving? Like, do you guys see the same thing I'm looking at? His hands are dark.
I don't know. We're up to 5 hooded individuals.
We had Austin Theory in the cage. We had Becky in Paris. We had this shit.
We had Jacob, Jacob ran up in a. So,
Andrade with his mask, technically.
Somewhere
that's its own conversation.
I mean,
somewhere I hear Cornette screaming "lazy booking." I hear it.
We've done this 4 or 5 fucking times now. God damn it!
So they do this, And shout out to Braun for selling that curb stomp. The way he sold it was perfect. But the masked man throws him in the ring. Bell sounds, stands up, and Olba knocks him out the ring and eliminates him.
Get out of here.
No lie though, there was a little piece of me that just said, "You guys just fucked up my Rumble for me," because I wanted to see Braun and what he did in this match. Although we saw him how he killed people last year, I wanted to see what he was gonna do at number 2 this year. So they kind of.
You know what's funny? I just remember somebody said that the masked man might have been Ice Show Speed for his revenge for last year. But
surprised there wasn't like a big celebrity cameo or something like this year. I was surprised they didn't go that route.
But
no.
So Braun's eliminated. Heyman's screaming, "How does that count?" What do you mean he's eliminated? And then number 3,
he didn't even make the ring. He didn't. You at least wheel him out in a stretcher or something. You're right.
Well, I mean, the masked man threw him back in the ring, and they just rang the bell. So, argument's sake, the match was starting. Then countdown goes, and this is when the countdown clock just went very fast at this point. For
we saw
individual.
We saw a lot of rapid run-ins happening during this time.
So Sikoa was number 3, and I nearly fell to the floor when they said this is his first Royal Rumble. This fucker's been around for 5 years, and this is his first Rumble.
Who was that?
Solo Sikoa.
Really?
What? First Rumble.
That can't be true.
It's true. He's never been in the match itself.
Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
He came out there. He stood next to Oba, and he looked like not superior. So Oba, they just pretty much brawled. Number 4, Rey Mysterio. Number 5, look who's back again, Rusev, in very short shorts.
I want to talk about this.
I bet he misses AEW right now.
Who did this dude? Did this dude fart in the same elevator as Nick Khan or something? What is happening? I remember when he first came back. There was only a few months. I'm talking like this was years ago. He came back like 5 months ago, and like big
after last year's WrestleMania.
Everybody was expecting a big push for him. He was getting in there with Dominic and the Penta and like the Intercontinental title situation. And
had a great series with Sheamus and such.
He's being disappeared. Like a fucking geek.
Yeah, came out. He was the second person eliminated, and then Oba disposed of Solo, and then shout out to Rey Mysterio who did a 619 right to Oba's dick.
And I love Oba's reaction. He was like, "Yeah, give me more, bring it on."
That was the best. Oba was no selling everything. He was just smiling at everything. But
if anybody can justify doing that, it's the fucking 7-foot Nigerian dude. I think you can justify that. This dude ain't selling for nothing.
Tossed out Rey Mysterio. Number 6 was Matt Cardona. Thanks for coming. And then he gets eliminated. Number 7. Number 7, Damian Priest, who had a better outing. Number 8 was Javon Evans, who was very impressive in this match. He was surprisingly in this match. He was the Iron Man at 40 minutes. At 40 minutes, he was the longest lasting male participant in the Rumble. Then number 9 was Mr. Iguana.
I popped. I was like, I was 2 minds. I was kind of like, really? You're gonna waste a spot on Iguana Man? But then I was like, please. Fuck it, why not?
The funniest thing.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna say, Jay?
The funniest reactions when you get on the socials is him coming into the ring and you hear, "Who's that? Who is that? Like what? Why? What the hell is? What do we do? He's from AAA. What a waste of a spot.
What is WWE doing?
Listen. He's funny. I can guarantee you that kids love him. He's very colorful and funny. But like this is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of putting like fucking Danhausen in the Rumble or something. It's like it's not a slight to Danhausen or anything, but it's like you know what your gimmick is.
Yeah, of course, please.
So
Mr. Iguana world champ. No, we're not seeing that.
So I love this spot where Damian Priest was definitely watching some Triple H because his girlfriend is teaming with Mr. Iguana. So he grabbed Mr. Iguana and Layeska, gave them both a choke slam.
That was funny.
Mr. Iguana sold like he was dead.
Did you see the way he did it? Like he looked like a sleeping iguana, like he had his legs and feet up.
he was in like when they're dying in the sun.
Yeah, or they freeze. They go into hibernation mode and they freeze.
And then I love Wade Bear's reaction. He's like, "I wish he was dead." Number 10 was Trick Williams.
Big pop for Trick Williams.
He has the potential to be a big star.
He does. Trick is interesting in that he's really. This is not a slight to him because he is competent.
He has
Really,
charisma.
he's charismatic. He's really only as good as the guy he's in the ring with. So like that's
True.
why
I would say that. Yeah.
he's really his matches with Dragunov were really great. His matches with Carmelo Hayes are really good. But like you put him out there with somebody who's kind of lesser or just on his level, and you're gonna get something that's not. You're gonna get something that's kind of just okay. But like he needs work, but I think he's getting there. But like he really is. It's the aura of the entrance and the whoop that trick chant that really kind of does the heavy.
We had
He's a great talker too.
We had the Pokemon evolution meme of Javon, Trick, and Oba standing next to each other. It's like
That was
Charmander,
good because they
Chameleon,
were
and
all
Charizard standing next to each other.
I like
So-
that they paid off on that because they made a big show the last month or so of them all leaving. That's actually a big thing that they've been making a big deal out of. So I'm glad that they referenced that.
So the fact, and I've been saying it for the longest time, I believe that Triple H is still scratching his head and fucking smacking himself for not fighting enough to keep Swerve in WWE. So right now, like, we need a replacement that could be similar to Swerve. We gotta bring Trick. We gotta get Trick.
Hey, wait, get me Swerve Strickland. He's unavailable, sir. Then get me his non-union equivalent.
And you know what? Swerve gave praise to Javon. So Javon's how old? 23 years
barely,
old.
he's barely in his 20s.
So
great.
I
Number
was
11.
when we were at Seneca, I'm looking at Mark Quinn and I go,
Oh God.
yeah, a lot of similarities there, huh, bro? There's a lot of stuff going on there.
Oh, that must have been awkward as hell.
Awkward as hell.
Oh no!
I go,
Sorry, Mark. I love you.
you know, and I laugh because I was saying, I was like, you know, Amazing Red has always been an influence on many wrestlers through the years,
Of course.
and now it's like, Quinn, how does it feel? You're next in line. You're getting all the everybody's doing your shit, but you're not there. I was like, he's like, you never know.
You
Shout
never
out
know.
to Quinn.
Sure.
Definitely.
Number 11 was Cody Rhodes, who I'm surprised. I think it was a good thing that he came out early. At this point in the match.
The reactions for him the whole time they've been in Saudi have been weird. He's been
Very
getting
mixed,
a lot
right?
of negative reactions over there. I don't know if it's just I thought at first it's because his gimmick is very rah, let's go America, let's go flag, but at the same time, like El Grande Americanos are getting the decent reactions. I'm wondering what the deal with Cody is.
He's Trump. He's an equivalent.
Fair
of
enough.
Trump. Yeah, he's the
I
equivalent
mean,
of
you
Trump.
look at him and you're like,
I'm
God
gonna
damn
go
it.
in the Rumble. I'm going in at #1, best Rumble, greatest huge. I'm going to win. You're gonna go over the top rope. You're
It's gonna
going
be the
over.
greatest rumble that you've ever been in. Honestly, it's gonna be
You
the
gotta do
greatest.
the thing with
I've
the
never seen a
finger.
rumble like this
Greatest
ever.
Rumble. You gotta do it. Mike, continue. Sorry.
I'm going to plug in my laptop, but as I do this, I'm going to just say that number 12 was El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser version. And then number
And then-
13, original El Grande Americano, who Chad Gable is yoked.
I
Holy
mean,
crap.
ridiculous. Now, mind you, I did see pictures of him a few weeks
Working
ago
out,
on
yeah.
socials, and he was
Working
looking.
out stuff.
When you see it now, and you look, you're like, "Wow, what the hell is that?"
You know, granted, he's always been in good shape. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. He's always been a busky little boy, but like, oh my god, like he put on like 30 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
it's just
And they did the Spider-Man meme, which I thought was kind of cute. I will say that
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
two minds about this because I kind of wanted this to happen at some point for them to like fight over this gimmick, which I thought was funny. But I do think it's hilarious that we have an Austrian pretending to be an American, pretending to be a Mexican, facing off with a white guy pretending to be a Mexican. And
Wait,
also,
did you say he was
there's
Austrian?
a high probability that the biggest lucha libre feud on WWE television right now is two white guys cosplaying as a Mexican. I'm not gonna judge, but I think that speaks volumes about where they're
and then the other Americanos are actually both British. It's like,
Rayo and Bravo.
yeah, exactly. Rio and Bravo.
But then Jay has the image ready. But number 14 was Mr. Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh no.
It did flash on the screen but
They
then
gave him a little teaser. They gave you a little bit of it.
and then it exploded and changed to Royce Keys.
Okay,
Maybe-
so I have something here. I was talking to my boy earlier, Chris Faga. He's a fellow podcaster and comedian. You can find him on High Society Radio and Notes of a Goon. We were talking about the Rumble, and we were talking about Royce Keys, and he had an amazing joke about what he was saying about his name change. And okay, this is what I said. Royce Keys sounds like a knapsack rapper with a jazz bang backtrack. then I also said, Royce Key does sound like a used car dealer who operates out of Harlem. Let's be real.
They've been trying to put this name on anyone. Like they've just been they want the blending of the most ethnic Harlem name ever. Like they just wanted it so bad.
Here's what I'm going to say. Two points to that. Well, number one, I'm not going to shit on the name too much because I know he based it off of his kid. I think his kid is named Royce, I believe, and that's fine. I'm not going to shit on that. You want to do something nice for your kid, that's fine. Right. But at the same time, number one, don't show the original name that is infinitely cooler than the one you're giving him, and then take it away.
I will make a counter argument, but carry on.
The thing about it is, it's like, listen, if you're going to rename him, fine, I get that, but don't show us the original name. Plus, it doesn't really matter because it's in my second point. I felt a little bad for him. I don't think this audience really knew who he was.
Well, I think we were talking in the group chat where they said, do you think that they would know who he is? And I said, yeah, I believe they would because American wrestling fans are a bit jaded. When overseas, they watch everything. A lot of them just watch whatever they have. And now with AEW and such, hell, like in India or in England, TNA is way over than it would be here. So it's like, I believe that they did. I just think that they were surprised that he popped up here. And mind you, once again, this is a time when we started noticing that the arena was getting a little bit more fuller at the end of the show.
Halfway through the Rumble,
got their GPSs to work. They found the fucking arena.
But I will say this to Ben's point. They did this before.
Yeah,
NXT with when Kenta debuted, they flashed Kenta and then it showed Hideo or Tommy.
But
right.
The same thing with Finn Balor, where it showed Prince Devitt and then it changed to Finn Balor.
That is true, but here's the thing: there is a difference. That was in Full Sail University in front of 150 people, and those were indie feet, and those the NXT and indie fan overlap. It's like one of those like circle graphs. It's like there's overlap. Those people are going to know who Prince Devitt is. Those people are going to know who Kenta is. Yeah. I doubt that the average person living in Saudi Arabia is going to know off the top of the dome who Powerhouse Hobbs is. And I don't think throwing him in halfway through the Rumble amongst a sea of many other people was the best idea. I think he got kind of lost in the shuffle. I feel
agree because when his name popped up, it was like, oh, okay.
No, it was very much like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this. Okay.
Wasn't there a character years ago named Keys before?
I told you this. The attitude there. Those was a drug dealer named Keys.
Right. His name was right.
Kilo.
Kilo. It was I get it. Draws had a
drug dealer that got Hawk all fucked up and made jump off the
okay.
That Keys.
I thought you were talking about those two dudes who used to hang out with Swerve when he started that new gimmick again. Like what it was like? It was like Smash and fucking Sludge or something.
Maybe one of the, I don't know. That was
they sounded like Street Sharks or some shit. I don't know.
Was it Parker? But yeah, whatever. That was one of those weird AEW things.
Next entrant.
Austin Theory. Number 16, Bronson Reed. Number 17, Ilya Dragunov. It was time to hit some people hard.
Why? Can I ask something? What was the point of having Bronson Reed go over on Roman a few months ago? Has that amounted to anything?
No. Because Bronson's in the same spot he's been in.
Right.
He has not benefited from this at all. And to that end, I'm like, I don't care about him. And I'm sorry, I've never cared about Austin Theory. I care about him less now. I'm like, why? It is hilarious. Triple H refuses to push LA Knight, a person who sells merch, is adamantly over with the audience, is a great talker, has a great look, but he seems still high on Austin Theory, whose personality is just nothing.
So my thing on that is I just feel that they want somebody in the vision to eat pins. That's probably why he's in there.
okay, for me with Theory has the look, got the body, has the potential. He's still young. He's not even in his 30s yet, or if he is, he's barely there. So what I think is that they keep pigeonholing him and putting him in positions that it's just not benefiting him. It's not making him get over or get at least some kind of heat. You're not even letting him really speak to get some kind of heat if you put him in a heel role. You mentioned the LA Knight thing. It's crazy because this is why Triple H has been getting the flack and the heat that he's been getting from the fans for the longest. We saw during the press conference that he was getting shit during pre-shows and post-shows. People were throwing heat on him because it seems as though that they're using the old Vince template. And even so, if Vince saw something that would draw money, he would go to it, at least lean into it. Finally. But
bury it, lose,
yeah.
DQ. No, doesn't make sense.
I've always had a theory, and this is not true. This is just me being funny with it. But I've always had a theory that the reason Triple H doesn't like LA Knight is because he reminds him of Mr. Kennedy. That's likely not true, but it is funny to think about.
Yeah.
Then we had twice. Get the fuck out of here.
LA wipes, yeah.
Oh God,
Jesus.
It's just yeah, there's something about it that just and by the way, I'll ask Ben, what's your thought on have you watched the show on Netflix, Unreal? Have you watched it?
I've watched a little bit of it. I'm not a fan. It's just okay, look. I would not mind seeing the inner workings of how this shit works. But the thing is, I can tell they're not being honest. They're still it's still their product. They're not going to show you anything they don't want you to see. And if anything, I think it's having the opposite effect. It's just kind of like, oh, this is just confirming to me that your writers department has no idea what it's doing.
It's basically a scripted show. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to have anything to do with this because I guess I'm one of those old school mind beliefs, which is, I don't want to see how the sausage is made and such.
Same.
But I know people who do watch it, and it's because the majority of them are not really wrestling fans. So they want to see, they're interested in know why it happens and what is done. I can't even fathom, especially I heard the second season is even worse than the first season on how they pulled back the things.
I tried watching the R-Truth episode, and I was just like, Triple H being like, his contract just expired. It was just business. Like, no, you fired him. This wasn't a plan. You wanted to get rid of him to further your bottom line because you thought he was old and you wanted to get rid of him. Don't pretend you didn't. This wasn't planned. You didn't have a strategy. You just wanted to get rid of him, and then the fans yelled loud enough about it that you were forced to bring him back.
And mind you, Vince in Power, Truth had a job for life because Vince loved him. So he would have had a job. There would have been no if Truth he would have gone down and like by the time he was 67, he'd have still been in the ring dancing and shit. But it's just I'm not a fan of this nonsense. No.
Speaking of nonsense, nonsense is number 18, where Jay was the most confused yesterday. Laparca.
Oh my God. I was a little confused too. I was like, wait a minute, my first question was
which one was this?
Haven't there been like 4 of them?
So we all know the whole Laparca stories and how it's conflicting trademarks in case whatever, and we know the original or one of them passed away and such. But fine, okay. This was probably the most skinniest Laparca I've ever seen ever. Like he was literally a fucking skeleton. Honestly, I was like, what is this? What's going on here? I actually thought that there was gonna be like a surprise reveal underneath, like it had been Finn or some shit. Like
it should have been Finn under the mask.
Right when DDP did it and against Macho and shit like that, it would have been great to see that.
Yeah,
but I was looking at the guy.
It was legit Laparca from AAA.
I said, he is really thin. Jesus.
Another one from Ben Cliver. If it's not the original Laparca, the chairman, I don't care.
Or not is.
Pretty good, sir. Pretty good.
I don't know. I thought he was dead.
The original Laparca. So in Mexico they have. So in Mexico what happens is if the person passes away under the gimmick, they give it time, and then the estate is able to want to pass it over to somebody else. It's like a rite of passage.
Does the family of the luchador own the gimmick, or does the company who they work for own the gimmick?
There's more. It's kind of 50-50 because the family still has a say on whether or not a person could take the gimmick or use the gimmick as such.
Because I know like
That's
AAA owned the rights to Pentagon Jr., and I know they owned like certain things like that.
Like
But that's
Phoenix,
like
like those silly
Pentel
trademarks.
Ferro Miedo or something because the company. owned
right.
it. That's
But
why
like-
Mortos used to be El Toros. What was Mortos's Beast Mortos's name when he was still over in AAA?
Oh God,
Black Taurus. That Black
Black
Taurus.
Taurus.
So I believe with like older gimmicks, they were able to have that business model where you can do that. And that's why there was such a litigation years ago about the LA Park La Parka thing, because it was a person who did it before. They left the company. They wanted to carry it over. It got confusing after a while. But yeah, this La Parka looked like he really needed a sandwich. He looked hungry. I was really surprised that they used this guy.
He came out the number 19 Dragon Lee, number 20 then was Logan Paul. Number 21 was the returning LA Knight, which got a big pop.
Big pop.
Went straight for the Vision. Eliminated Austin Theory and Braun Strowman all by himself. So it's like, okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Then number 22, Mr. Brock Lesnar made his appearance, and Paul Heyman, by the way, walked out with him. Paul Heyman didn't walk out with any other member of the Vision. He walked out with Braun and Brock.
And this is where the problems started.
Because he came in, started doing his suplexes, but then it got a little better because him and Oba had a face-off like twice. And then fucking 23, The Miz comes in.
Which was funny. I like the way that he immediately like backed out of the ring.
He slid halfway in and then looked up, and it was like, no.
Nope.
I'll go the other way. And then whoever was left in the ring attacked each member, attacked each Brock and Oba, and then both of them just tossed everybody aside, went back to stare down. And this poor bastard, number 24, Ray Phoenix, came out.
Yikes.
Okay.
And I was like, you couldn't switch Dragon Lee with this, but Mr. Phoenix was the one that had to jump over Oba, land into Brock's arms for a nice little F5, and then he gets quickly eliminated. So it's like,
this was interesting. They put, I don't know if this was on the broadcast itself or this was on social media, but they made a point of showing a little thing where Dragon Lee, Penta, and Ray were all talking to each other as they were getting ready for the Rumble. And the only person who wasn't a part of that was Phoenix. I'm sorry, I guarantee you, Penta is getting treated so much better than Phoenix right now.
Yes.
And I think it's because he sells more merch than them, because we were talking about how Rusev was geeked out earlier. I think Phoenix got it even worse.
So do you think that one day down the line they're gonna have to give him the rub and finally put them together in WWE?
They have to.
I fucking hope so, because like if you're never gonna run, listen, I have my issues with Jey Uso as a singles performer, but I still like the Usos as a tag team. I'd like to see the Usos versus the Lucha Brothers at some point in my life. I feel like you said earlier about leaving money on the table. That's leaving money on the table. You could run a series of those matches for months. So I'm like, I seriously don't know, because you really think about it. Aleister Black's been getting geeked out lately. Phoenix got geeked out. Rusev got geeked out. It's like, is this like Triple H's version of like a humiliation ritual, being like, you left me and now I'm going to embarrass you?
Yeah, but oddly they're happy back in WWE working there instead of working the 1 day a week for Tony Khan.
I think that's the plan down the line. I think there is talk to have that match booked for Mania, the brothers versus the brothers. So I think that's what's down the line.
There's a story there.
Yeah, there would be great booking for that. Maybe that's they just gotta find a way to get him to SmackDown. Oh, I know. Trade, right? We can make a trade. Whatever.
Or transfer window. You established that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're allowed to trade. You can do that.
Right.
It's funny enough, Ben mentioned him, but number 25 was Jey Uso, and his whole 60 seconds was him making his entrance, and then the dumb son of a bitch walks in the ring, won it back, he does in the corner, and then they do the countdown, and I called it, but number 26 was his cousin, Roman Reigns, who came out, and told Jay, "Hey, you want to run it back again?"
Run it back
And Jay Stupid was like, "Yeah." And then Roman punched him in the face for being
I
stupid.
love that.
Yeah.
I hope they address that, because that needs to be discussed. Like, you haven't learned any. Like Roman sitting there telling him, "You haven't learned anything from me, have you? You really haven't."
I apologize. I want to wrap up talking about this match, but like I need to get this rant out of my system.
Okay, go for it.
I'm sure Jey Uso is a nice man.
Oh,
Here we go.
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Here we go.
Sure he is. I'd love to hang out with him. Seems like he's fun to have a drink with. Seems cool. Funny when he's drunk. Why not?
You can't handle a beer though.
You can't. But
also, I just want to point out too that at this point,
the whole running it back thing was funny the first 1 or 2 times he did it, because it felt organic, because the audience was asking for it. It was like the audience was asking him, run it back, do it again. It's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it again. Now he's just doing it for the sake of doing it, and it's dumb every single fucking time he does it.
yes.
And what was so dumb about this was, number one, like Brock eliminates Oba during all this mess. By the way, Brock eliminates Oba Femi, which was, I think, by the way, having Brock Lesnar eliminate Oba Femi on the eve of Black History Month. That was unintentional, but it feels intentional to me, man.
The black champ killer. That's what you're referring to.
It's becoming comical at this point.
It's a gimmick for Brock.
Did you guys notice that they missed Brock getting eliminated during Jay running back the song?
Yes,
right,
because they had Cody and LA eliminate Brock out of nowhere in the middle of this run back.
Who eliminated Brock?
Both Cody and Knight.
Cody that was okay, because literally a few minutes later, I was like, wait a minute, where the fuck did Brock go? This dude, he's not a guy you can miss. He's like broad-shouldered as fuck. I'm like, where did he go? I'm like, wait,
because it went from Jay in the middle of the ring, say run it back, and then they show him walk to the corner, and then all of a sudden they cut to Brock outside the ring. I'm like, what just happened?
So we were talking earlier about the camera guy missing shit. I'm like, that was the most egregious example. This is Brock.
My thing is that they actually missed the opportunity where I think it should have been reversed. I think Oba should have threw out Brock and then have them two throw out Oba, because at least that is the buildup right there for the match.
Or I hate when they do this because it should be against the rules, but if you're going to do it, at least use it for a reason. Have Brock jump back over, pull Oba, and have them brawl to the back and have them set up a thing for later. At least I hate that. I hate that shit where the person who's already been eliminated can still eliminate.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. But if you're going to do it, at least use it to set something up for Mania. That'd be fine.
Then when Roman's in, he knocks Jay out, like I said. Then we had Roman and Cody stare down at each other like you think you're special. Like WrestleMania 17 moments all over again. Then number 27, Jacob Fatu, who gets a monster reaction. He comes out, he comes straight for Cody. He has this face off with Roman. Then number 28, Penta comes out. Does I don't know. He had a little shine. Number 29, Randy Orton. Everybody jumps to their feet. Now they're all happy because they get to sing his song now. Earlier it was Cody, now it's Randy. But number 30,
I love singing that song, man.
Yep, number 30 was Mr. Gunther, who was selling his fucking leg.
I was shocked he was put in at number 30. I was like,
well, here's the thing. The night that they made the match official with him and AJ, he did say, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay. I missed
so they made it they did show they didn't show him in the graphics, but he was advertised to be in the Rumble, and he said he was going to be in the Rumble.
And everybody was like, "Oh no, Jericho! Why?"
Right.
Everybody was losing their shit.
So then we had Randy and Cody working together.
This match needed.
We had Cody and Randy trying to work together. So Randy was holding Gunther in position for a Cody cutter. Gunther got out of the way, and Cody cuttered Randy. Then we had Cody hanging on for dear life, and then Drew out of nowhere, Claymore kicking him out the Rumble, and there's no title shot for Mr. Cody Rhodes.
This is really what began what I like to refer to in every Royal Rumble as the all kids out of the pool section of the match, where it's like, okay, now we got to start just yeeting people out of here so we can get down to the final 3 or 4.
Yeah, then we had Javon Evans he tried to go for his big springboard cutter, and Randy finally hit it after that failed one on NXT all those months ago. But Javon, he got cuttered, and he looked impressive, but he gets eliminated. Penta also got hit with a cutter or RKO, and he gets eliminated. Then, as Jacob got distracted from Cody's elimination, Roman comes from behind and eliminates him. And Jay tried to eliminate Roman, but it failed. So then Jay tried again. He hit a big spear. Roman reversed it and threw him out. So then the final four for this year's Royal Rumble was Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, Gunther, and Randy Orton.
Who would have sat there and believed that Logan Paul would have been the last of the group in here?
It's like the third year he's in the final four.
Yeah, like,
he makes it to the final 5 or 6 like for the last like 3 years.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, who in the back really, really is pushing to keep this guy in that position? Don't take anything away from him. The guy can fucking wrestle. Give it to him.
That's what's frustrating is that he can fucking go when he knows what to do, but it's like fucking why are you here?
Well, now he's here full time.
Oh, great! Fine.
He goes for the buckshot lariat on Roman, which Jay, if you want
to get his brother in there too, it'll be great.
Jay, you want to tell what the question you asked Mark is? Who does a better buckshot lariat, Hangman or Logan? And Mark Quinn goes, "Oh, Hangman."
Oh, Hangman. So apparently Quinn has said that Hangman hit him so hard that he fucking stuck. He got his Adam's apple lodged in after he took a buckshot. So I was like, he goes, "Oh yeah, definitely Hangman." Yeah.
But Roman blocks and hits a Superman punch, and Logan gets eliminated. And then Gunther eliminates Randy Orton. So now we're down to Roman Reigns and Gunther, which future WrestleMania match, but that's besides the point. But then Roman eliminates Gunther, and Roman Reigns is your 2026 Men's Royal Rumble winner. Yeah. Back to all reliable. New faces be damned.
I'm 50-50 on this because here's the thing.
We knew he was going to win.
I had a feeling he was one of my picks for this because I'm like, he's kind of one of the only people that makes sense. Also, it's nice to have him win a Rumble where he's not getting the shit booed out of him. Like he did literally, actually, I think it was 10 years ago. I was like 11 years ago at the 2015 Rumble when he won. So
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but second Royal Rumble win only.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, really? He's only won the 2? That's weird. You think he'd have won more. But like I was thinking to myself, good for him. He gets to have his victory and he actually gets to enjoy this moment in a positive light instead of getting the shit booed out of him. I'll always remember The Rock's confused ass face when Philadelphia was shitting on him. But at the same time, I'm like, you could have put him in the title picture. You could have just had him being like, you literally could have just had him come out on Raw and SmackDown, confront whoever he wanted to be like, I'm coming for that title. And you could have justified. I don't think he needed to win the Rumble. So
or logic saying
I've seen worse repeat Rumble winners. Like I seriously don't understand why like Charlotte had to win it the year she did. But like I'm kind of mixed on it.
He is still incredibly over with people. And
I'm not taking that away from the guy. He's one of the guys. He's on every poster. He's on every cup. I get it. But it's like
he's not there every week. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
every time he comes back, it's a return, which is really whack. And like
which I'm not doing this year. If for every Raw or SmackDown, he did advertising. I'm not doing discussion threads where it says Roman returns. Because it's not a return, it's just him popping up for a week.
I've always felt, with limited exception, because I'm fine if I was fine with Cody winning it back-to-back years because it made sense for the stories they were telling. But like, I've always felt the Royal Rumble is a good opportunity to really elevate the next guy to like really when Drew finally won it, when like, or give it to somebody who's been really working hard, who really deserves it, like Bayley finally winning it in 2024, or like Asuka winning the first Women's Rumble. Or, things like that. Hell, even at the time, like, listen, we all know what it turned into wasn't that great, but I wasn't actually mad when Jay won last year. I was like, oh, that's a shocking choice. That made sense at the time. He was over. But I was like, I don't know. Like, it just kind of feels like they're just kind of in a holding pattern. It's like, he could just be at WrestleMania. He's going to be at WrestleMania one way or the other. Why does he need to win this?
I think what it is we're looking at hopefully, and this is, I'm only saying optimistic. I'm being optimistic about this. Is that we're looking at the changing of the guard that's happening this turnaround. We're starting to see a lot of the younger guys are getting a little bit more recognized as such, like the Braun Breakers and such like that. We're looking at that. So I think we're looking at AJ looming with a retirement. We're looking at possibly Brock is going out the door. Punk has already said that he doesn't have enough. He might not have enough in the tank for any much longer. Cody's already calling out his days when Randy's going to be out the door. So a lot of these guys are
And
going to be.
Mysterio's not going to be doing this a lot anymore. He's already in the Hall of Fame. His clock's
He's
ticking.
52 years old. God bless him. He's great.
Jesus
It's
Christ. Wait, I
amazing.
forgot he's 52.
He's
Jesus.
amazing. It's fucking fantastic that he's in
I
there.
only bring him up because I bring him up.
For your knees. Jesus Christ.
I bring up Rey Mysterio because, like, for how many years people would say, "Who's gonna be the next Rey Mysterio?" Rey Mysterio's so fucking here. He's not leaving anytime soon.
Nah, that's going to be a lot. That's big shoes to fill. But honestly, I think that's what it is. We're looking at Roman's probably the last, song for him. It's not in the cards. He's already getting comfortable with being Mr. Hollywood. So I think to close out his story, the bloodline story, this is why they did it this way.
No more with the bloodline stuff. No more.
Yeah, no. Listen, you say what you want. The Samoans are here forever, bro. They're gonna be.
Let them do their own thing.
They're gonna be forever. They're not going
No,
anywhere.
they partially run the company. The Rock is like a majority owner.
It's like, and now with the love that Jacob gets from everybody, please, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, guys.
But that's fine though.
Who runs the world? Samoans.
But the thing is, when you say the next guy is up, it should be guys like Braun. It should be guys like Jacob, Obafemi now, Javon Evans, Dominic Mysterio, like other guys like Trick, like eventually these guys are gonna have to step up, or these other guys have to step down. But like you said, a lot this year feels like it's gonna be swan songs for a lot of them. Brock probably in the summer.
We're going to get a lot of retirement tours.
But you think about it, the prime for wrestlers these days is not what it used to be years ago. Now the primes are between 36 to 40. So
yeah,
I mean, Hobbs is 34 and he just jumped ship. So now he's in the mix with the young guys.
Yeah, so it's like, you still got to sit there and believe that yes, there is that being in the oven for some time. You still got to get your reps and got to get I don't know if you guys heard if you guys listened to the Cody Rhodes John Cena interview and I'm gonna say Cena. It's funny that he just walked out the door and he's sounding like a 60-year-old vet. Like he sounds like the elder statesman.
Yeah.
This
is the business when I walked in. This is the business when I walked out. You gotta get in there and do the job. And it's like, John, well, dude sounds like he's about to run for president or something.
What dignitary did we just get after you hung up your child-fitting hat and your jorts? Like, what did we get?
The tone of voice that a politician will use in those campaign ads where it's like, I'm John Cena, I approve this message.
Exactly. So his thoughts about the same thing as well about, these guys are not getting, you got to get these guys their reps. They got to, we have to get more house shows for the guys to show because it's not happening on the shows itself. So, but it's just, like I said, I think we're probably going to be seeing the renaissance, but it's depending once again on who the fuck is doing the proper booking for it. Because right now it's just looking bad.
It's especially this year going into next, because you mentioned a lot of these guys are probably going to be hanging it up soon, or they're going to be positioned differently to to compensate for the fact they're getting older. They really need to start building more people. And I know that's the same song and dance we say every year. They got to build new people. They really need. I'm sorry. Braun, Javon, Ricky Saints, Oba, like a lot of Trick Williams, like a lot of these guys on the women's side of things, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, like a lot of these people, they really need to start like pushing them and like really making us, the audience, think, okay, you are a big deal just on the same level as these other guys, the established people. You really need to start. They need to stop being afraid of like letting the young people get one over on the seasoned people. They really need to commit to that.
As Bender Britt said, I mean, Cena retiring, the 1 month later, AJ Styles retired. It's like watching the Green Mile for the first time.
Where's Mr. Jingles at? Come on, let's go. David Hall says John Cena can't even walk up straight. He's always hunched over like an old man from all those back injuries in the ring. He's lucky he doesn't have to get around on a mobility.
Please, you talk about that.
Sir, that's Tanahashi.
Yeah, that's what I have to say. Have you seen Tanahashi? Jesus Christ. They got to give him robot legs.
He gets a haircut and he becomes an old man.
Exactly.
I'm going to say something. A lot of people give like Okada shit for the safer style and like the way he's more subdued in the ring lately. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Have you seen what's happened to a lot of his coworkers? Naito has no knees. Ibushi can barely walk. Kenny is all fucked up. I'm sorry. Wrestle as safe a style as you want to, bro. Save your knees. Come
And
on.
these guys
You keep calling people bitches and do middle fingers all you want.
And they're
Save
not
your
even in
body.
their 50s. And they're not even in their 50s. And they're walking like 60, 70-year-old men. It's crazy.
Shout out Ben, who I agree with.
Nakamura shit. I'm like, brother, smoke your weed and go surfing. I don't give a fuck. Save your legs.
Mike, before you say that, it's so true about Nakamura. That's when everybody's like, oh, they don't treat him right. I said, Nakamura is like the most chillingest wrestler now. He's like, I'm not in Japan. I'm in the US. I'm making good money. I could surf. I'm with my family.
You're telling me you're going to pay me 3 times. You're going to pay me like 3 or 4 times what I was paid overseas to wrestle 7-minute matches where I don't have to bump like a maniac and I can still just smoke weed and go surfing afterwards. I'm in. Brother, let's go. Ichiban, #1.
Shout out Ben, who I agree with. I think the women's division is in better condition than the men's. Yeah, because there's so many women that you can are on the rise. Blake Monroe, Sol Ruka, Jordan Grace, a lot of them. Like just with the men, like the tag division is in dismay, and the mid card is not there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mixed
Stone Cold
bag.
had to get robot legs. Yeah, and they're still clamoring. Oh, come on. We need one more Stone Cold match. He's 62. Jesus, leave this man alone.
What are we doing?
Leave him alone.
He's Unk. No, he's beyond Unk at this point.
He's beyond Unk. He's great Unk now.
It's like, actually, that'd be a great title for an album. Beyond Unk.
So that's gonna wrap us up here, ladies and gentlemen, man, guys. Oh, this was amazing. Once again, Ben, thank you for stopping in, my brother. It's been a minute, and yeah, your insights is always one to be admired and entertained because you know your way around the wrestling ring. But once again, let everybody know where they can catch you, and remind everybody what's upcoming for you.
I've been doing this shit a minute. To quote some folk. I know ball well enough, but like. So if you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me at @Falbo_Benjamin. Find me there. Find me on the YouTube. You can find me there at Benjamin Falbo. I haven't been posting there as much, but I'm going to start doing that more. I have some video essays and some other fun shit coming up. And you can follow, I mentioned this at the top of the show, but if you want to follow the short film and eventually the feature film that me and my good buddy Matthew Koffler are working on, we're working on Satanic Panic 2002, The Lost Wrestling Show, a beautiful, unholy matrimony of found footage horror in early 2000s professional wrestling that may or may not be starring some of your favorite New York and New Jersey professional wrestling talent at some point in the future. So definitely lock in for that one. So no, but thank you guys for having me. This was a fucking blast, and I love talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
And Mike, what's going on down the line with the crew and history and headlocks?
Got a new makeover, new intro that is going to make everybody laugh, and it's going to be very enjoyable. So, but John Cena Retrospective Part 2 coming soon. We're going to be talking about the Attitude Era, and Brand Warfare is on the way as well for history and headlocks.
And guys, make sure you check us out on all the social media platforms as always. Guys, please like and subscribe, be a part of the vibe of all things connected to New York Wrestle Media. We're doing the big things happening on us here. We're doing different things every week. We're starting to slowly but surely getting on that path. Also, please follow us and get involved with a YouTube page. Get our subscriptions up as well. And I want you guys to also be a part of the super tip aspect that we have for the show. It helps us to get the funding we needed here, but also at the same time, we don't get hit with all those big YouTube fees. So guys, be a part of the super tip at supertip.gg /New York Wrestle Media, and much more content coming down the line. And for my guys here at New York Wrestle Media, as always, we're gonna check you guys. Where are we at? Oh, in a second. In a sec.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.